my name is Hidden Remnants, and welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft Let's Play. Now, as you can see, I've been a little bit busy. I have some villagers here, and I got these from some of those villages that we found a couple episodes ago. I built nether portals at the villages, brought them through the nether, and then brought them here. If you're wondering where here is, you can look on my map, and I'm on that island out in the middle of the ocean all by itself. We also found this island a couple episodes ago, and I thought this would be a good place to house the villagers, because sometimes they can be a little bit finicky and linked to beds and other workbenches, and I just didn't want to deal with that over at my base in that general direction. If you're wondering why in the world I want villagers, is because you can trade with them. You can trade crops for emeralds, and then you can take those emeralds and trade them for enchanted books. And it took me a little while, but I managed to get a mending villager. This guy trades me the mending enchantment for 28 emeralds, and it's amazing. As you can see, I put mending on my boots, and that is why they're at full durability while my pants and my helmet are only at half. If you're wondering why I don't have a chest plate, well, that's because it broke. Yeah, it was running low on durability, and it just ran out. But I'm not that disappointed, because I was planning on switching out for something else this episode anyway, but I'll get into that later. I also started a little melon and pumpkin farm over here, and it's just been producing a little profit. I started out with like one melon and one pumpkin. I got the melon from the jungle that was above the stronghold, and then I traded a wandering trader for a single pumpkin, which might be the first ever wandering trader good deal. Am I right? Now, if you're wondering why there's a bunch of stone bricks lying out here in a rectangle shape, that is because this is where I'm going to build my villager building. I mean, I do think they deserve a little bit better than this cobblestone box that we have for them right now. So let's hop into that and let's build this building. So I just finished the building, and I think it looks really good. It has this like futuristic feel to it, and I did the lime concrete because trading for emeralds, and then the white is just a nice like border. For the top, I did like this waffle grid type thing, so I like it. If you're wondering how I got the lime concrete, I actually got some sea pickles, and I made myself a tiny sea pickle farm. And see, look, if I bone meal that, boom, got some sea pickles. Then I can just harvest these and then throw them in some furnaces, and then they will actually smelt down into lime dye. So then just craft that into concrete. And I really like how this looks. I think it looks good. One issue that I have with this build is there are no like light sources on this build. So mobs will be able to spawn like on these ledges or up here on the roof. But I actually have a solution for that, and it is seen right here. I have a torch here. This could be any light source. I think I'm gonna go with glowstone, just because like it's an actual block, and it's the easiest one to get. besides torches, but I don't like torches because it also has the particles going through it. But anyway, so if you put a carpet on top of the torch, the light still shines through the carpet, but obviously you can't fall through. So the light shines through, and then if I have one of these on all of these intersection pieces, then that should light up the entire roof, so then no mobs will be able to spawn. And I actually had a creeper spawn up here earlier and hop down and like blow up right here, blowing up part of this wall. So it is something that definitely needs to be done. So I think right now I'm going to go and finish doing that. Put in light sources on each of these corner pieces. So I got the roof all finished. I swapped the torches out for glowstone, or the torch out for glowstone, and then I started putting carpet on these ledges. I don't have enough. I'm gonna have to wait for my sheep to keep on producing. But oh, also my villagers died to some zombies, which makes me kind of sad because I'm gonna have to find another mending villager. But since they are gone, I was able to tear down the little box, and now you can get a actual look of how nice this looks. Well, minus the ugly staircase. I threw this door down here. I don't love it, but I don't know. I don't think it looks absolutely terrible. If I can think of a better door, then I'll do that. But in the meantime, I'm good with this. Yeah, there's nothing in here right now, but we do need some more villagers because, like I said, these died. So instead of just boating a few more over here, I think I'm going to build up a villager breeder. So let's do that right now. I do have to say, this villager breeder is quite a smart little build. So the villagers are here in a boat on these fence posts, and then I already gave them food, and then eventually when they breed, a baby will drop through on this side and fall into the water, and they'll fall all the way down here, and then there's no water down here at the bottom, so they won't drown, and they won't swim up to the surface. They'll just sit there, and then when they grow up, they'll grow up and then pop up here and then just bob up and down on top of the water and then get pushed along the water stream and fall right into this hole until I need them for like a project or anything. So now I just have to wait for a couple babies, and then I have to wait for them to grow up. Then I can start populating my trading hall. So I brought a couple villagers over here, and I used to have a farmer and a librarian, but then when I removed their workbenches to put them here, so they were in this box, they both turned into librarians. Not really sure how that happened. As you can see, this one, I got a mending guy I'm happy about, but he's kind of expensive. But that's fine. I can deal with that a little later. I have a solution to that. No, but this guy here, if we look at his trades, like, I wouldn't trade with this guy. I would never have traded with this guy. But he somehow kept his level when he turned into a librarian. He was a farmer, and then he just transferred to a librarian. No idea how that happened. I'm pretty sure that is his lectern now. He stole that lectern from this guy. And then nobody's taking this composter. I'm thoroughly confused, but that's no problem. Because I'll probably just get rid of him eventually, if you know what I mean. Anyway, if we come inside here, we can see I've been building a little bit of the inside and the redstone of the trading hall. And it is quite the smart little circuit that we have back here. So the villagers are going to come in on minecarts, and then they will go over an activator rail, which will eject them from the minecart, and they'll fall down that little hole right there. And then if we pop around here, we can see they will fall on the pressure plates. And then basically what the pressure plates will do is they will activate that piston and push a slab above their head. so they won't be able to jump up and down. And then it will also turn off this redstone line, unpowering the activator rails. So then the next villager to come through won't get ejected at that cell, and it'll get ejected at the next cell. So then we won't have lots of villagers in one hole. Instead, we'll have one villager in each hole, which is perfect. And you may be wondering how I'm going to get them onto that rail, and that is through the nether. Now, I have a little idea on how I can solve the very expensive emeralds trades and how to get them up there onto that rail. But it's going to be a 3-stage plan. So imagine each one of these little teeth things. I call them teeth because they kind of looks like a mouth. Anyway, imagine each one of these teeth things is a part of the plan. So this first part, the villagers will come in, and then we will give them a occupation by placing down a workbench, and then we will break and replace that workbench over and over and over again until we get the trade that we want from that villager. Then we send them off to the next one and the next stage, and then at this stage we will kill the villager using zombies, which will zombify the villager. And then we send him on to the next one where we can throw a splash potion of weakness on him and then give him a golden apple, which will then cure the villager and give us very cheap trades. So we could get, like, mending. We could drop the price down from 36 emeralds to 1 emerald using that, which is quite the price difference. Now, I'm going to build all of that stuff in the nether here, but I'm actually going to do it underground because, A, I don't like being up here on the surface. As you can tell by all of the fire, there are gas everywhere. Well, there's just one over there. And there's skeletons everywhere, which are so annoying. As you can tell by the experience, it's been like a battlefield out here. Yeah, there's experience everywhere, and those are all from mobs I've killed. They've been everywhere. Stop spawning! Okay, but, so we're gonna build that underground, and it's gonna turn out well, I hope. If it doesn't, then I will be kind of disappointed. Oh, I also almost forgot to mention that I did do a little bit of trading and got myself 3 mending books, so I'm gonna repair my netherite leggings and pants right now, and then I think I'm gonna crack on and build that stuff in the nether, like I said. So I have completed the redstone for this area, and I have to say it looks pretty good. So the villager is gonna come through here on a minecart. I will simulate being the villager. I'm gonna ride through it myself, and it'll probably be quick, so then I'll go back and explain what happens in each part. So we're gonna go through here, and continue on over here, get shot out. That's gonna go around, and then I'm gonna get this again, and I'm gonna stop right here. This is where I will give the zombie villager a golden apple, and then you'll start the healing process. You may have noticed in all of the chaos that just occurred, I got shot with an arrow. That was from this dispenser. I accidentally forgot to take those arrows out. So, what's going on here is the villager comes through here on the minecart. There will be a zombie in here, and the zombie will kill the villager. So then he'll turn into a zombie villager, and he'll pop out of the minecart, which the observer will detect via the string. So then, if you look at the powered rail, then you'll see it gets powered. So that'll shoot him forward, up over here. So basically, when the villager goes over this, it'll turn this off and switch this track, which I can simulate by putting the minecart in it. See, it turns that off and switches the track. And that all happens after the minecart goes through it. So the villager goes over this, gets ejected onto this rail, and then starts going around on this track. And then we have a system underneath that does all that redstone, but then there's also this torch tower, which activates this dispenser once the villager is right there, and then it'll shoot a splash potion on him or whatever we want to put in there. And then the minecart comes back around, and then once it goes over this again, the minecart will go on that rail, pick the villager up, and continue on. And then this will turn back, and that'll go back that way, ready for the next villager to come through. So it's really nice because it resets itself, and I like that. And then the villager comes over here and then gets stopped on this powered rail. And then we give him the golden apple and then press the button, which will then launch him through into the nether portal. So if you want to take a quick look at the redstone, it's a little messy down here. Got some redstone magic going on, and it all works out. So that's basically all you need to take from that. So I went a little more complex style here because I could have just taken this dispenser and put it right here and then put splash potions of weakness in there. So then when he stops here, and then I could have made it shoot out onto him, and then I heal him right there. But I actually wanted to give myself some options besides just splash potions of weakness. So there's a couple ways for you to give a mob effects, and one of them is potions, but another is tipped arrows. And there's a couple way to get them. One of them's like really expensive with Dragon's Breath, and I don't really do that because it's really expensive, and B, you have to fight the Ender Dragon every time just to get some. But anyway, there is another way to get it, which I recently learned about, and if you get some potions, which I have here, did not mean to put those in my offhand. So if you get some potions and you fill up a cauldron, and then you click on it with the arrows, we now have arrows of weakness. And they are only 11 seconds, but that's okay, because I don't need the full 11 seconds. So if we put them in here, then the villager will get shot with a weakness arrow when the minecart's coming around, and then the minecart will pick him back up and bring him over here, so he'll be right here. So then he'll be right here in the minecart with the weakness effect on him, and then I'll be here with the golden apple and then heal him up right before the weakness effect runs out. The reason I'm doing the arrows instead of the potions is because the arrows are so much cheaper. All you need is 3 potions, and then you have a stack versus the 1 potion per villager. Now, I do know that this area looks pretty ugly. If you're wondering why I have a bunch of random blocks around here, I was a little paranoid that a ghast might spawn in here and then just start blowing everything up. So I threw some blocks down. So now what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to have to decorate this place. And, oh, another thing I'm going to have to do is get a zombie in here. But I'm going to do that after I decorate it. And then I still have to build the first part, which won't be hard. It'll just be like a powered rail, a button, and a place to put the table. Very, very simple. But let's jump into it. Let's get this place decorated, and let's make it look nice. 1, 2, 3. This is decorating. Another bit. Alright, take 1. 1. So I just finished decorating, and I have to say I'm really loving how this turned out. It is a little heavy on the blackstone, but I still think it looks amazing. For the floor and the ceiling, we got this like checkered blackstone and polished blackstone design, and I think it looks great. For the walls, we have just like basalt, and then we have these little like fireplaces along the wall, and I think they look really good. I used the blue fire, and I did that by putting soul sand down, and then just line that. Boom. Looks amazing. And then over here, we have this rail system, which leads back to my villager breeding nether portal. So then I can just send them straight from there into here. And over here we have where we will break and replace their workbenches. So say the birch log is the workbench. They will come in here, stop right here, and then just boom, place it, link up to it. Don't like the trades, just break it, and rinse and repeat, I guess. And then once we like the trades, hit the button, they go along in there. Then they'll get zombified by the zombie, which we still have to get, but I will do that next. Then they come up here, get hit with the weakness arrow, and then come over here. I give them golden apple, and they go through the nether portal. And they go through the nether portal by going over this activator rail, which will eject them from the minecart. When the minecart comes along here, hits this cactus, and then it will be turned into an item, like just a loose item, like that on the ground. So then I can just put some hoppers underneath here to pick it up. But I'm gonna have to do that later because running a little low on iron and mineral resources like that. So I'm gonna have to do a mining session later, but maybe in the next episode. You may notice that like anything that doesn't have rails or redstone on it is slabs, and that is because mobs can spawn like almost anywhere in the nether, and I didn't want to have to fight a bunch of skeletons every time I wanted to use this. So yeah, the exit is right here. I kind of put it in one of the fireplaces just to kind of make it, to integrate it into the design. And then just got some basalt walls, pretty basic. Now if we pop on through to the overworld, you can see that I did a little bit of decorating over here too. I put in the ceiling and I finished some of the walls. And if we pop in here, this is what it'll look like in the villager trading hall. And I have to say it is a lot smaller than the rest of the building. Like if you look at this, like this thing's pretty big. Come in here and it's a pretty cramped room. That's because all of the redstone is going to be out the back, which I still have to build up most of the cells. I only have those two as of now. One thing I do have to get though is slime for sticky pistons, because I just have normal pistons in there right now, and it works okay. But if I wanted to remove a villager, then I would have to manually break that and replace it. Versus just after I like kill the villager, they won't be activating the pressure plate anymore, and then that would just retract. So I have to get some slime, which means slime farm in the future. Anyway, so we have the roof on this thing, and the reason the roof is so low is because, if we can just pop up here, is because the villagers are gonna come through the nether, and then I'm gonna build up a rail track, so then they can just loop on up into this line, where they will just pop off into each of the cells. Now if you were a bit curious about where I got all that blackstone and basalt, here it is. I mined out a good portion of this basalt delta here, and yeah, this is what it used to be. Now, unfortunately, that is all the time we have left for today. At the beginning of the episode, I mentioned wanting to swap out my chest plate for something else. I was referring to an elytra, but we don't have time to get one of those today. So, next episode, we're getting an elytra. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. If you like the video and you want to see more of them, then hit that subscribe button, and then hit the notification button if you want notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one.